again. Oh, right. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me alright? 키키님, 원조님, 뭐라고 안 들으님, F무님, 해병님, 오지님, 비비님, MJ 부사님. A lot of people I don't see very often in streams. I see a lot of people that I don't often see in streams. 김명님, 프리미엄님. Wow, okay. You just got off work. Okay. Any plans this evening? 용님? Hey, it's been a while. 태희님, 슈미님, 유정님. Yeah. Okay. That's great. Okay, sounds very clear. That's good. This is your first time in the stream? Okay, welcome to the stream. It's nice to see everybody. I'm gonna come here more often. Okay, I would love that. Good morning. Yeah, you're already working. Yeah. Okay. So let's begin. I think we're just gonna begin. It's gonna be a very short stream. I just want to go over just a few sentences using reporting verbs. Okay. Using reporting verbs. Let me get my list out here. It's not easy using just one monitor. Hello, good morning. Good to see you early in the morning. I'm getting ready. Okay, that's great. Okay, my plan just decided for this evening. Well, no. I don't think I'll be streaming even an hour. Yeah. Well, it depends, but I actually got up. I wasn't up all night. I actually got up around 5, maybe 5:30, and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I decided to stream this morning. You're watching your kids. Good to see you early this morning. You're working out at... Oh, you're working out at the gym already. Wow, good for you. I look different today. That's probably because I just got up in the morning. This morning, and I'm really thirsty too. Okay, let's begin, guys. Let's begin. How should I approach this? 제발 아무한... Oh, wait. You can't see it. Okay. So how would you say this in English? How would you say this in English? Or maybe that's too dramatic. Or something like this. Okay, so the verb we're going to use here is this. Let's say he begged me never to tell anyone. Okay? He begged me never to tell anyone. He begged me never to tell anyone. He begged me never to tell anyone. So here, the reporting verb that we're using is beg, okay? He begged me never to tell anyone. And of course, depending on the context, it could be I begged them, same thing. Begged them not to keep this a secret. Okay, so asked, sure, but that is just a request. It's simply a request, right? You can feel that, right? So asked is simply, it's a very simple request, whereas beg is more desperate, right? Saying that someone begged someone to do something, it just feels more desperate, right? The person is very desperate to have something happen, right? So he begged me never to tell anyone. I begged them to keep this a secret. Okay? Well, it's a much stronger form of 부탁. It's a much stronger form, right? So that's why in the initial translation I wrote 제발, right? 제발 뭐뭐 해달라고, 제발 뭐뭐 하지 말아달라고. Begged, okay? So let's say that you were having problems with a noisy neighbor. You can probably say, I begged them to keep it down. Right? Of course, now this depends on your attitude. It depends on what attitude you had when you were doing that, right? So, okay. So that's the first one that I wanted to go over with you was beg, all right? Beg someone to do something, beg someone not to do something. He begged me not to leave. Right, okay. Trump begged seat to me. Did he? Did he do that? Okay, now I gotta go back to this browser. I really wish I had a second monitor right here. Okay. 다음에는 더 잘 하겠다고 약속했어. This one is easy. It's easy because it's right there, right? The word is right there, 약속, right? So the next reporting verb that we're going to use is 약속. And we're going to say they promised. They promised, right, we have to use would, right? So they promised they would do a better job next time. Now you could say a better job, or you could just say do better next time. You could say they promised they would do better next time, or they promised they would do better next time. They promised they would do better next time. And when you say this, don't pronounce the D, okay? It's a silent D. Just go straight into the TH, okay? So they promised they would do better next time. They promised they would do better next time. They promised they would do a better job next time. Okay, moving on. This is we're going to go through this very quickly, I feel like. Or we could, I don't know, maybe just kind of repeat the whole thing. I have it's a fairly short list that I have. Okay. 걔가 나보고 병원에 가보라고 했어. 가보는 게 좋겠다고 했어. Okay? 걔가 나보고 병원에 가보는 게 좋겠다고 했어. Right? Now I want you to think about what this means, the context, okay? 뭐 어떻게 해보는 게 좋겠다고. 어떻게 하는 게 좋겠다고, right? 어떻게 하는 게 좋겠다고 그랬다. So this is not simply saying, not simply telling, But this is a suggestion. This is a suggestion. So we're going to say she suggested that, whoops, sorry about that. She suggested that I see a doctor. She suggested that I see a doctor. So the word suggest, I'm pretty confident in saying that most Korean people, if you are learning at a beginner level or an intermediate level, most learners at this level are very not familiar using suggest. When you see it, when you read it, when you hear it, you know exactly what it means. You're actually quite familiar hearing it and reading it, but I rarely hear people use this word. And I think one of the reasons is because of the pronunciation. Okay? So just get used to the pronunciation, all right? Because it's a very, very commonly used verb. She suggested that I see a doctor. She suggested that I see a doctor. She suggested that I see a doctor. Okay? She suggested that I see a doctor. And remember, I want you to remember what this means. Okay? 어떻게 하는 게 좋겠다. Alright? 어떻게 하는 게 좋겠다고 그랬다. Can you give me another example using suggest? Maybe you suggested something. Maybe somebody else suggested something. Can you give me an example using suggest? Has anybody suggested anything to you? Or maybe you suggested something to someone? Maybe you suggested that someone do something? Oops, sorry about that. Your husband suggested that you wash the dish after dinner. Oh, okay. Well, I agree with him, because why would you wash the dishes before dinner or during dinner? Just after dinner, right? She suggested that I cut her some slack. Well, that's not really a suggestion, right? That's more like an ask. It's a request, right? Kiki suggested that I come to us to work. What does that mean? I suggested him. No. Not suggested him, Kiki님. Try again. I suggested that he. Not I suggested him. I suggested that he. She suggested that I keep tomatoes in room temperature. Okay, my trainer suggested that I should do more cardio. Yeah, okay, that works too, but you don't need should. You can just say my trainer suggested that I do more cardio. He suggested that I do more cardio. Quit snacking. Okay. I suggested that he should start a diary in English. Okay. Are you talking about that kid, Ikenim? The kid that you were talking about before? Okay. I suggested one of my staff get a job near... Okay, so in this case, this is very important, everybody. I want everybody to listen to what I'm saying right now, okay? So if you look at this sentence here, MJ 부사님's example, he said, I suggested one of my staff get a job near her place. Now, in this example, one of staff, right? That description is kind of long. Okay? The description of the person that this person made the suggestion to is kind of long. One of my staff, right? One of the staff members. And so in this case, what I would usually do, and what I see native speakers do, is they separate the sentence like this. I was talking to one of the staff members earlier. I don't know. It could be earlier, yesterday, the other day. Let's say the other day. And I suggested that he or she get a job closer to her place. So this is what I suggest that you do. Okay? This is what I suggest that you do. You separate the sentence. So I was talking to one of my staff members the other day, and I suggested that he or she that he get a job closer to his workplace or her workplace. Her place, yeah. Do you understand what I'm trying to show you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I was talking to one of the staff members the other day, and I suggested that he get a job closer to his place. I suggested that she get a job closer to her place. My husband suggested that we go to a water park as a family trip instead of opening our daughter's birthday party. Oh, okay. Instead of opening, you mean throwing a birthday party at home. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Let us move on. Now this is going to be an easy one. Now, we're talking about somebody else. Let's add a little bit more context. Let's try this. Okay, and I'll show you. Right. I offered to help, but he insisted on doing it himself. I offered to help, but he insisted on doing it himself. I offered to help, but he insisted on doing it himself. So the use of the word offer, this is also important, and insisted on ing. Insist on ing. Insist on ing. I offered to help, but he insisted on doing it himself. And I think it's really important for you to understand the nuance here. So 도와주겠다고, 뭘 해주겠다고, right? 뭘 해주겠다고 하다, offer to do something. Offer to drive them to the airport, offer to carry some heavy stuff, offer to, I don't know, like do something for anybody, right? So offer to help, but insist on doing it himself. He insisted on doing it. So I think this is probably a very, very important sentence that we're going to cover today. I offered to help, but he insisted on doing it himself. I offered to help, but he insisted on doing it himself. All right. 의사가 계속 이런 식으로 하다가는 얼마 못 쓸 거라고 했어. Now, I want you to think about what is this? Like, what kind of message is this? I want you to think about that. I want you to think about what kind of message is this? What is this? Is this advice? Is this an instruction? Right, exactly. It's a, 그쵸, 키키님, very good. It's a warning. This is a warning. And so we can use the reporting verb warn. My doctor warned me that I wouldn't have much longer to live if I kept this up. My doctor warned me that I wouldn't have much longer to live if I kept this up. My doctor warned me that I would not have much longer to live if I kept this up. I guess if I kept this up is another expression. That's not our target language today, but it's something that is worth trying to remember, I think. Okay? So, my doctor warned me that I wouldn't have much longer to live if I kept this up. And this, if I kept this up is 계속 이런 식으로 하다가는. Right? My doctor warned me that I would not have much longer to live if I kept this up. 내가 큰 변화를 주겠다고 했어. So I want you to think of this as a response to this. Okay, so the doctor warned me that I would not have much longer to live if I kept this up. So I did this. So what is this? What is this? Sure, I said it. Sure, of course, I said it. But okay, so yeah, it could be a promise. Sure, it could be a promise, but I want to show you something, another word that you are probably not very comfortable with because you're just not very familiar with it, okay? I'm going to say, Wait, let me give you one more clue. 그러니까 걱정 말라고. This nuance. How do we add this nuance? Right. Assure. Yes, very good. I assured him that I would start making some big changes. Okay? I assured him. So this when you assure someone, as you see, I gave you guys a clue and you guys immediately came up with assure. That's exactly what assure means, right? So you tell someone something with the intent of sparing them, the concern, right? You don't want them to worry about it because you're gonna do this, and that. And so you assured him, okay? My doctor warned me that I wouldn't have much longer to live if I kept this up. I assured him that I would start making some big changes. Actually, you know what? Just for context. Just for context. 잘 알았으니까. I assured him that 잘 알았으니까 앞으로 큰 변화를 주겠다. How would you express this? It's been a long time, Nate. Thank you very much for the membership support. I really appreciate that. Very, very appreciate that. Thank you very much. He made a point. I'm well aware. Yeah, that works too. How about this? Now, this is just my suggestion, but I had learned my lesson. I assured him that I had learned my lesson. I would start making some big changes. I assured him that I had learned my lesson. I would start making some big changes. Now remember, these are two different things. I learned my lesson. I would start making some... This is two different things. And that. I assured him that I had learned my lesson and that I would start making some big changes. Whenever you are reporting two different things, right? When you were reporting two different things, two different sentences, two different things, you usually connect with and that. I assured him, so this and that is an extension from this that, okay? So I assured him that I had learned my lesson and that I would start making some big changes. This and that is actually very important. This and that is actually kind of important. Okay. I assured him that I had learned my lesson and that I would start making some big changes. Okay. Moving on. I hear my wife moving around, and I think since she's moving around now, Amber's going to start moving around. She's going to want her breakfast. 그 상황에 대해서 알게 되자마자 바로 상사한테 알렸어. How would you say this? Kim님, yes, report is good. Notify is another good one. I notified my boss as soon as I learned about the situation. I notified my boss as soon as I learned about the situation. I guess technically we should say I had learned. I notified my boss as soon as I had learned about the situation. Now, technically it should be had learned, but I don't think it really matters. Yeah. So, when you learn about a situation, you're becoming aware of it. You know what's going on. You could also say find out. Yeah, sure. As soon as I found out about the situation. I notified my boss as soon as I had learned about the situation, as soon as I had found out about the situation. Found out. You could say found out. Moving on. How do you say this in Korean? 말하라고? 당장 말하지 못하겠는가? 라고 했다? Something strange about that. Doesn't sound right. 말하라고? 당장 알려달라고? 밝히라고. 하하하하. I did it. I did it. Okay, so here, actually, we don't need to say 밝히라고. And JC, yes, you are right about using the word demand. We're going to use demand. Okay, so we already have the answer, but I want you guys to show me that you know how to use the word demand and say this. How do we use the word demand and say this? 당장 밝히라고 했다. It's actually really simple. This is a matter of perspective, I think. It's a matter of perspective. I'll show you the simpler approach, okay? I'll show you the simpler approach. He demanded to know. He demanded to know. Exactly what they were doing to address the issue. He demanded to know exactly what they were doing to address the issue. He demanded to know. Now, of course, we could be a bit more we could try to make it sound a little bit closer to this. We could say he demanded that they reveal, or that they open up about, that they yeah, but we don't have to go that route. We can just say he demanded to know. We don't have to say address the issue. We could say take care of the problem, solve the problem, deal with the issue. There are many things that we can say, but today we're just going to say to address the issue. Sorry. Address the issue. Not address to issue. That was so dumb of me. Address the issue. Yes, you're right. Address the issue. Address the issue. He demanded to know exactly what they were doing to address the issue. Demanded to know. Okay. I think something didn't get saved. Just give me a second here. Yeah. Yes. Okay. 자기는 그 일에 전혀 관여한 적 없다고 했다. Yeah, 당장 내놔. It was coincident that I joined your taller account stream yesterday morning, and I did not know you do stream this early so often. Well, I'm trying. I don't want to jinx it, because I hate giving myself the pressure, the feeling of pressure in doing something, or in committing to a certain type of routine. But one thing that I'm not saying that I am, I'm just saying that I'm exploring the possibility of streaming in the mornings, since I'm usually up in the morning a lot nowadays. So okay, so the key here is 한 적 없어. 난 그런 적 없어. 딱 떠오르는 표현이 있죠? 아니, 난 그런 적 없는데? 아니, 난 그런 적 없어. 아니, 그쵸. He denied. 아니, 난 그런 적 없는데. He denied. Okay? Let's say she this time. She denied being involved in any of it. She denied being involved in any of it. And so I want you to try to remember what I wanted to show you. Okay? 아니, 난 그런 적 없는데. So that's a denial, right? Denial. So she denied being involved in any of it. She denied. Denied all accusations. Strongly denied? Sure, that makes sense too. He begged me to do something or not to do something, but in this case, it's a stronger version of not. It's never to. He begged me not to. He begged me never to. Basically the same thing. Never is just stronger than not. Okay? Her involvement, you could say. Her involvement. She denied her involvement in any of it. You can do that. I guess that's a slightly more formal way to phrase it, but you don't have to really do that. It's harder, isn't it? I begged them to keep this a secret. They promised they would. The use of promise and would, very, very important. They promised they would do a better job next time. Suggest, this is so important. Using suggest is very, very important, okay? She suggested that I see a doctor. Suggested that. He suggested that I do more cardio. I suggested that she get a job closer to work, closer to home, closer to her place, closer to his place. This is super important, very, very important. Okay, 뭐뭐를 해주겠다고 하다. That's an offer. That is an offer. 해주겠다고 하다. Okay, 해주겠다고 하다. You really can't say it in any other way. That this is like offer. That's an offer. That's what it is. It's an offer. So I offered to help, but he insisted. 굳이 하겠다고. 고집 피우다. Right? He insisted on doing it himself. My doctor warned me that I wouldn't have much longer to live if I kept this up. Warned me. And I feel like this is another one of those words because of the pronunciation. A lot of Koreans, they, unknowingly just, it's one of those words that they avoid because they just don't like to say warned. My doctor warned me that I wouldn't. I mean, can you imagine yourself actually saying this? Can you imagine yourself actually using this word during an actual conversation with someone? Oh, my doctor warned me that I would, right? I think in most cases, you're just going to go with, my doctor told me. And that's fine too. That's not actually wrong. But it just, in a lot of cases, using these reporting verbs, it just sounds better in a lot of cases. Okay. Sam warned us that you wouldn't improve English if you kept it up. Kept what up? It depends on what you keep up. Okay, so I assured him. I'm pretty sure that this word sounds a bit unfamiliar to a lot of you guys. I assured him that I had learned my lesson. That's the first thing. And the next thing, and that. So I assured him on two things. I assured him that I had learned my lesson. No, it's okay. You don't have to say another word. I've learned my lesson, and I'm going to start making some big changes from now on. And so those two things. I assured him that I had learned my lesson and that I would start making some big changes. I notified. This is another one of those words that because you're simply just not very familiar, you know what it means when you see it and you hear it, but it's hard not hard, but it just doesn't come to mind. It just you just don't use it. You don't use it enough. You should try to use it more. Notify, right? It's just one of those words that doesn't occur to you to use. You know what I mean? But it's a very commonly used word, a reporting verb in English. So notify. I notified my boss as soon as I learned about it. Well, it's not really about that. As I always say, it's really about the experience. It's not really about knowing how to use it or knowing when to use it. It's really not about knowing it or understanding it. It's really about experience. That's all it really is. He demanded to know. So using this word demand, right? And again, if you want to be able to use this word, same thing. You need to have the experience. It's not really about knowing how to use it, right? It doesn't matter how well you know the word, the meaning, and the usage. No, it's not about that. It's about the experience, okay? Which is why the only meaningful thing that you can do with all of these things here is just make a lot of sentences with them instead of just understanding what they mean. The most meaningful thing you can do is make tons of examples and sentences using them and try to give yourself a chance to get used to it, right? So he demanded to know exactly what they were doing to address the issue. She denied, okay? Denied. Saying, oh, I know that never happened. No, I never did that. I didn't do that. She denied, right? She denied being involved in any of it. Okay, that's it. That's it, guys. I think that may have been one of the shortest streams that we have ever done. Don't you think? I'm going to copy and paste this. Where's my window? Okay. Oh shit, my bit rate. Did you guys experience a lot of buffering today? Was that too? Wait. Lower. Okay. How about this then? No? Oh, okay. Is that better? Is YouTube happier now? My streams. Oh, because I'm streaming on Wi-Fi. Okay, so that I guess that could make a difference. I'm streaming over Wi-Fi now, which could make a difference, I guess. Let's copy and paste this here. And okay. Save. All right. That's pretty much it today. Thank you for tuning in this morning and spending time with me. Have a great rest of your day. Work hard, and but not too hard. And try to enjoy whatever you do. Okay? Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys hopefully sooner than I think. See you guys soon.